house is on fire, we don't worry about how big it is. We just focus on putting out the fire. In the education sector, our house is on fire. The COVID-19 pandemic has been the worst shock to education systems in a century, with the longest school closures. Children's learning has suffered immensely, and because the education sector also provides health, nutrition, and psychosocial services, the overall welfare of children has declined substantially. Their recovery should have been started immediately. That is why School Education Department Jammu and Kashmir worked swiftly by demarcating and aiming at three priorities: bringing all children back to schools, recovering learning losses, and preparing and supporting teachers. These priorities might not give us our dream house, but are meant to put out the fire first. And with the launch of National Education Policy 2020, the sector has undergone a complete overhaul in the past year. Since children have lost institutional time for many months at a stretch, and many children are still not back in school, the Directorate of School Education kick-started the Child Survey cum Enrollment Drive in the last week of November 2020 to bring dropouts back. All the functionaries of the department were sensitized and inspired to achieve the desired results. The program of Child Survey cum Enrollment Drive included house-to-house survey by teachers, community mobilization events, awareness campaigns by teachers and students, door-to-door visits by teachers and students, rallies, involvement of community leaders, mass enrollment drives, car rallies, cultural events like skits, dramas, announcing the importance of education for a child. As a result, more than 1 lakh students were brought back to government schools of Kashmir Division, which included out-of-school children, children with special needs, and new admissions in kindergarten. Teams at all levels have also been formulated to facilitate the Talash survey proposed by Samagra Shiksha and UNICEF. To recuperating the educational losses, Directorate of School Education Kashmir started educational broadcasts as teleclasses on Doordarshan Kashmir and local cable networks with 3 classes of 1 hour duration since 1st June 2021 and 4 radio classes aired on All India Radio daily since 26th May 2021. The School Education Department has been grateful to the Directorate of Information Public Relations J&K for providing studios for the recording of such classes. More than 380 telesessions and 400 radio classes are procured with DSEK's official YouTube channel and also are being uploaded on Diksha portal. Online virtual classes are being facilitated by teachers on different and safe digital platforms by sharing video presentations, PPTs, audio presentations, diagrams, sound clips, and whiteboard histories of different topics in an interactive manner with students. Besides number of playway activities like storytelling, competitions, model making, quiz assignments, small projects in two-way processes, drawing competition, etc. is part of ongoing simplification of teaching learning process. A 3-tier monitoring process is in place for this intervention as CERT, NCPCR guidelines for privacy control are being observed. In addition, Directorate of School Education Kashmir launched Learning Management System (LMS) in all the schools to help in monitoring of online classes and keeping track of the teachers and students' attendance and extend daily learning through online classes. The learning management system has following salient features: school teacher-student linking, teaching learning through assignments, PPTs, charts, texts and videos, provision of study material, multi-tier monitoring of online teaching learning, conduct of online assessment of the children. As of now, 8,532 schools, 50,127 teachers, and 5,09,818 students have been registered on this learning management system, and teaching learning has begun. And almost 3,251 video lectures, 4,627 e-content, and 1,838 assignments have been shared till this time. In comparison to last year's online teaching learning, we have an increase of almost more than 2.5 lakh students. Children with no smartphone in their families were connected and assisted through conference calls and audio calling. And the students who could not be linked to the online classes were engaged by the teachers through the volunteer effort of community schooling, following all the SOPs. To mitigate the loss of school days, the assignments of Unit 1 and Unit 2 were prepared by SCERT and diets and were distributed among all the students, and to gizmo the inkling of school-based assessment, SCERT developed a handbook, exemplar material and trained 40 UT level resource persons. With the tutorial come assignment, assessment papers were sent to students through LMS and other digital means, and teachers were asked to evaluate the learning outcomes. 3.5 lakh students in comparison to 2 lakh last year have been counseled by teacher counselors and expert doctors, expert counselors, psychiatrists from GMC Srinagar, IMHANS and UNICEF through Child Protection and Counseling Cell DACK, meant to ensure mental health and hygiene of learners. About 3.90 lakh books were distributed in Kashmir division last year. And for preparing and supporting teachers, SCERT Kashmir took the initiative of online training and disseminating to diets and teachers directly. A series of webinars were conducted by Jammu Kashmir SCERT on awareness regarding all aspects of NEP 2020, covering almost 200 participants and 60 ZEOs in the Kashmir division. To inculcate skills of using different digital resources during the online teaching learning processes, SCERT Kashmir division facilitated more than 100 participants for 3 days in 2 phases. To make participants more aware of the inclusion, about 60 teacher masters and DRGs has been facilitated on inclusion and special education. SCERT organizes several online trainings on direct trainer skills, personality development, stress management, yoga and its benefits, physical fitness and school health, orientation for physics lecturers, core standards on mathematics, orientation of various languages like Kashmiri and Hindi. Besides, the awareness program on drug de-addiction with Dr. Muzaffar Khan, Director DDC Kashmir, awareness program on cyber crimes and preventive measures with Mr. Yasin Kichlu, SSP, Security Jammu and Kashmir has also been organized. Given the importance of kids' personal safety education at home and school, 2 programs on child sexual abuse for kids and 1 program on child abuse awareness for parents and teachers has also been organized during the closure of the school. Jammu Kashmir UT has been appreciated by exceeding the achievement of the target for Nishta on Diksha with 2,77,761 enrollments for online mode of training under continuous professional development for 18 modules. School Education Department will gauge its progress on all the priority areas by the end of this session and will be able to articulate that the fire in education has been contained and that we can focus increasingly on the longer term task of rebuilding.